Hogs Grindhouse presents a knee-jerk production. Earl I, written by and performed by Freddie Parks. Scene 2.
Interior, log cabin, tavern, bay. Sunlight filters in through cracked glass windows. Dust can be seen floating on the rays of light. A few kerosene lamps fill the gaps in the natural lighting. Dale Bingham, male, middle-aged, balding, short and stout, wearing a dingy white shirt, dusty brown trousers, and a dirty apron, wipes out a mug and sits it on the counter behind him. The sound of a rickety wooden door striking the frame startles Dale, and he almost drops another mug he had been about to clean. He turns to greet the person who has entered the room. Clyde Strong, male, 30s, weather-worn face with a beard, wearing threadbare jeans, a brown work shirt, and a large floppy-brimmed hat, stomps in. Clyde pulls his hat from his head and wipes his brow with his forearm before sitting the hat on the bar. He pulls up a stool and slaps the bar with his right hand. Dale takes a mug and pours a beer from the tap. Dale sits the mug in front of Clyde and gives him a disapproving glare. Clyde pays no mind to the look, drains half the mug, belches, then sits it down, sloshing a small amount onto the wooden bar. Dale uses the rag he had been wiping the mugs with to dry up the splash, then turns his attention back to Clyde. All right, now, you got your whistle wet. What's got your pecker up? Clyde growls, bares his teeth as he picks up his mug and puts it back to his lips to drain off the rest of its contents. He slams the mug down a bit harder now that there's nothing left in it to spill. Don't be busting up my crockery, unless you're willing to pay for it. Clyde scowls and looks at Dale with indignation. Beg your pardon. Didn't mean to take it out on your crockery, you great dirt of a man. Here now, there's no reason. Yeah, there it is, nonetheless. If you be insisting on being a donkey, you can be on your way. Clyde sighs, then belches again. Oh, never mind it. Just pour another. Coin first. Clyde fishes in his pocket and pulls out a couple of coins before slapping them down on the bar. Dale deftly sweeps the coins from the counter. He looks at them for a moment, then takes them over to a wooden box that sits under the counter. He takes the mug and fills it again. Now out with it. Why are you in such an ill humor? Look, if I wanted to jack my jaws, I'd go home and fought around with the woman. I'm tired and hot. Clyde ignores the question and instead picks up the mug and crosses the room. He sits at the table, sitting in the corner, away from the windows and the artificial lighting. Don't think I didn't know how many coins I dropped. It weren't no tip. Bring me bread and bacon. Clyde's face twists into annoyance. Mary ain't coming in till dark. If you want a meal, you have to wait. Fine, but don't be forgetting you've been paid plenty enough. After a moment, Dale shakes his head, then goes about cleaning the rest of the mugs, muttering soft curses as he does. The door cracks again. Thomas Bevins, male, 50s, dressed in a white close-collar shirt, brown riding pants. His clothes are dusty from work, but not nearly as worn through as Clyde's. He stands upright and looks as though he holds a slightly more elevated status of landowner rather than a sharecropper. Thomas strides toward the bar. Dale turns to see him and hurries over. Evening, Mr. Bevins. Beer for you, or would you like a shot of something with legs? Nothing right now, Dale. I'm looking for my hands. Seems they think half a day work is worth full day's pay. Or maybe I just thinks a man working a two-man job by his own should be either double paid or given his leave early. Thomas turns around and sees Clyde at the table. He strides angrily toward the corner where Clyde sits. He stops in front of the table and leans down, placing his palms on the table and moving his face close to Clyde. Maybe I think I'm not willing to open my purses like your missus opens her legs just for the fun of it. Clyde comes to his feet and tosses the table to the side. The two men stand toe to toe. I ought to kill you for that, you bloated cunt. Would serve you right if and you did. No more income and a noose round your neck for the reward of it. I bet you'd be a right dandy dancing on old Scratch's back while you hang by your neck. Dale hurries across the room in more of a waddle than a jog. Here, now stop that, the pair of you. I ain't got no more tables and chairs to replace 'em. Dale pushes in between the men with effort. The two men hold each other's gaze, neither taking their eye off the other. You great git! I've been slaving away there since the cock crowed, and this is how you thank a man? If so, why haven't you finished the fencing out on the east side of the barn? Because it's a two-man job to carry them logs, as you well know. That bloated hog you call Isaac didn't bother to show up. I went by his shack and Harry went there. I think he let out. He's been useless since that tub of guts he was married to passed over anyway. Isaac didn't come to work. That's what I've been trying to tell you. I knew you was thick, but I didn't know you was deaf as well. Thomas considers it for a moment and turns to Dale. Have you seen Isaac in the last couple of days, Dale? No, but he don't light upon my stools too much anyways. I've heard tell he spends most of his days on the bank of the pond pining for his deceased. Thomas sighs and slaps dust from his riding pants. He looks back toward Clyde. I owe you an apology. I'll take care of your bill tonight, but I need that fence finished tomorrow. If you need to bring a man in, do it. He'll be paid an honest day's wage for an honest day's work. Thomas turns to leave and stops and turns back to Clyde. Let me be clear on something, Clyde. If you ever pop up to me again, it won't be a job you'll be missing. It'll be teeth. Clyde growls, but offers up a bow of mockery and a smile. Thomas turns to leave the tavern. The door slams shut with a teeth clenching crack. End of scene 2.